Hi everyone! Welcome to another video in my series where I make flowers into fantasy characters. I'm really excited about this character, so I think I'll just get right into it. So the flower I chose this time was Spider Lily. Sorry not sorry. They're a super cool flower, so you know I had to do it to them at some point. I knew immediately that I wanted this character to have multiple arms, emphasis on spider in Spider Lily. But I wasn't about to draw 8 arms because that would require me to draw 8 hands as well. So I settled on 4. 2 of the hands are for being slay, obviously, as you can see, and the other 2 are for absolutely demolishing her enemies or something. I don't know, jury's out on that one. Although they have basically opposite aesthetics, I think Spider Lily and Iris would be friends, just based off their like slay vibes. Tangent on that real quick. It's been literally weeks and I'm still calling these characters by either, quote, this character or by their flower names, which is incredibly boring. So please, if you have any name suggestions, I am begging for you to comment them. Maybe people have commented name recommendations by the time this video is out, but since I'm doing the voiceover way early, like before the release of several other videos, for now I have got nothing, so just gonna continue as I have been. Anyways, I also knew that design-wise I wanted tattered clothing and some sort of veil or way to obscure the face. The headpiece sort of checked both of those boxes, and then I added some I also made the hem of the dress sort of raggedy. For the Spider Lily elements, I added the belt/harness bits to the hips, which like swoops out in the way that the stamens do on Spider Lilies. And then I also have the actual flower present on the handle of the scythe and decorating the hat. For the hat itself, I'm kind of torn if I like it or not. I feel like there are other things I could have done to make it more interesting. Maybe a full-on veil or a different type of hat. Not too sure, but overall I think this design turned out pretty good. Color-wise, I was looking at reference photos for both red spider lilies and white spider lilies, which I think are still up on the screen right now. I'd actually never seen the white version before, so searching for this reference was super cool, and I was really conflicted about what sort of color palette I wanted to do given the white ones, but ultimately I went for the classic red spider lily color palette, and as you'll see later, I do sort of manage to incorporate a bit of the white one. No spoilers though, since I make those changes super last minute. I already knew a fair amount about this flower, like symbolism wise, so going into the planning of this illustration, I had a pretty good bit of inspiration. If you've watched like any recent anime, you've probably seen this flower right before a character is about to die, and that's because they represent final goodbyes. Did not mean to rhyme that, but here we are. So obviously the RPG-like class I went for was a Reaper, because that's cool as hell. I settled on this class because it fits with the lore, which I also decided on, which is that this character is the goddess of death. And then also I wanted an excuse to draw a scythe because they're cool as hell. I had a lot of ideas for the direction I wanted the scythe design to go in, but as you can probably guess, I took some design cues from Soul's scythe form in Soul Eater, because that show was so formative for me and the character designs are peak. But the other scythe designs I was looking at were the white version from Black Rock Shooter and Deathmaster's scythes, both of those. I'm not familiar with the Black Rock Shooter games, but I watched the anime, the 2012 one, not the 2022 one, which was like shit. And it was also like so formative for me. The plot isn't all there, but since it's Vocaloid adjacent and the character designs are so metal, I'm still a huge fan of the franchise. If you don't know anything about it, there's a design, her name is Strength, and she's like a girl with these huge bionic arms, and like honestly all the character designs are super sick, but that one especially was just so cool. So I really liked that show when I was younger. So sorry I had to cut right there because I drank some water and then choked on it. I don't know how other YouTubers are doing this, but let's see, I'm at 5 minutes in the video about how do you talk for 5 minutes straight? How are you doing that? How are these people filming hour-long videos and being like, yeah, I can talk for that long. I can do it normally and be super composed. What? How? Okay? Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Sorry about that. I've been thinking about how I should sort of shake up my uploads, since I'm not really sure how interesting it is to be uploading all these flower character designs in a row. I don't know, maybe it is interesting. I'm not me, I think they're interesting, so probably keep doing it. But maybe I'll draw some fan art, like Black Rock Shooter or something. Though if I'm being super honest, I'm so fickle when it comes to art, so please take that and what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Especially recently, I've been enjoying doing more like original character design stuff as opposed to fan art, which at least for me has been an absolutely wild switch up. I mean, what originally got me into art, and if I ever do a sketchbook tour of this sketchbook, you'll see it, was drawing fan art from media I liked. Looking at you, Madoka. I love you, Madoka. So it's sort of always been a part of my drawing repertoire, but recently I've been having a lot of fun creating my own characters, so that's what I'm going with. All that being said, haha, I do have some other videos in the works right now, mostly pertaining to Art Fight, because at least at the time of recording this, it's just about to start. But if I'm being honest, other than that, and other like more character design videos, I don't really have any other like really strong ideas, so any suggestions would be super welcome, especially if someone has questions or wants me to explain something particular about my creative process. I do love to explain things, so that'd be great. I remember when I was first getting into digital art, I was really into videos about like helpful tips for whatever digital art software I was using at the time. For me at that time, it was Fire Alpaca. If y'all know what that is, it's free. It's probably still free. If you want a free digital art software that is pretty good, go there, use it. Or like, what other videos did I watch? Maybe tips for coloring in a certain style. Those types of videos were especially important for me when I was first switching from cell shading to this more painterly style I have now. Don't get me wrong, I'm still cell shading, but so I'm blending. I use that blender tool. Have you seen it? I do it sometimes. I'm sure there's like a million videos with these sorts of themes floating around on YouTube, but if you want to hear me in particular talk about stuff like that, let me know, because I'd be more than happy to do it. I like teaching others sometimes, if it's something I'm interested in. On the topic of learning to do digital art and trying to develop my own style, I wanted to talk about some of the YouTubers who have been my art inspiration throughout the years. Some of them I've started watching only recently. It's windy outside, I hope you can't hear that. Some of them I've started watching only recently as my own like styles and preferences have developed, but others I've been following for years, and I have always enjoyed watching them. So yeah, it feels sort of weird to be talking about / plugging all these super popular YouTubers when I'm a super small channel. Is that weird? I don't know. But art is for everyone, and these are the creators I like, so here we go. First is Drawfee. If you like art, if you're an artist on YouTube, you probably know who Drawfee is. Yeah, come on now. Like, you probably know who Drawfee is. But for anyone who's unfamiliar with them, they're a group of 4 incredibly talented artists who do really cool, and they're so funny, guys. Like, they're so funny. And they do really entertaining drawing challenges each week. I like to watch them because obviously, as I said, they're so funny. Like, I'm like crying every time. But I think they've also taught me a lot about having a healthy creative process and not sweating making bad art or feeling like you don't want to create. Like, it's okay. If any other artist needs to hear this, breaks are okay. Encouraged even. I know, crazy, right? Please, I'm talking to you, burnt out artists, sort of burnt out. Please do not burn yourself out for the sake of like social media or some external pressure, because social media doesn't deserve you. You should make art for you and because you enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, then it's okay to take a break or switch something up, or I don't know, do something else, you know? I only figured that out recently, so maybe another person needs to hear it. Well, my computer sounds like it needs to blast off right now. God. The next artist is Prickly Alpaca, who is, as far as I'm concerned, the absolute god of character designs. If you've seen any of her videos, you can probably guess where I've gotten a lot of my recent inspiration for the themes of my videos. I too am a lover of fantasy nonsense, as you've probably guessed, and I always have been. So seeing her videos always inspires me to get really lost in the sauce with fun, probably improbable fantasy character creation. Her painting style is also really awesome. She's really funny, and her creative process is super fun to watch. So yeah, would recommend. Next is the YouTuber Paranoid Rat, who made a really awesome video about how they started on YouTube, which, big surprise, inspired me to start my own YouTube. They made a really good point that the most important thing is to just go for it, just full send, guys, because otherwise you'll always be making excuses about not having the right equipment or not having enough time or whatever to actually start. That's not to say that you shouldn't be trying to put out content that you yourself are happy with, but once again, it's totally okay to make mistakes and learn as you go. Like, at least for me, that's what I'm using YouTube for. It's like an art journal. Just go, just full send. It doesn't have to be perfect so long as you're trying your best, you know? I definitely used to be a huge perfectionist, and I still am when it comes to certain things. Academics, for one, bane of my existence, oh my god. But I'm trying not to sweat the small stuff so much, and just full send, guys, just full send. So yeah, thank you to Paranoid Rat for that video, because that was super inspiring, and honestly all their other content is really cool, so yeah, I would definitely recommend anyone who's interested to go check any of those 3 channels out. As far as right now, those are my top 3 art YouTubers, which, yeah, once again, I'm plugging them. I have 11 subscribers right now, but I'm plugging them, so that's great. But of course, the beauty of YouTube is that there are so many good creators to find, so I'm sure this list will change or get bigger at some point in the future, but that's that on that for now. Back to my actual piece, and not other people. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of fix-ups. I'm basically done with the piece at this point. I color corrected the reds into a little bit more purple. Right now I'm trying to add a bit of a background because I've noticed that if you like looking at my portfolio on Kara, which I have a Kara, fun fact about me, I'll plug it in the comments below. I've noticed that my portfolio just looks really boring. Honestly, like, even if the composition is good, the backgrounds are all solid colors. And this one's still going to be a solid color. Spoilers, sorry. But just looking at them all together, I don't know. There's something about it that I don't love. So I'm trying to work on that in the future. Maybe you'll see a background video. I have been talking too long. Here's the finished piece. Hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for watching. This was such a rambly video as usual. And I am over time. Goodbye.